Well, we live.
We live. You up?
Well, hello, good people. I keep looking at your camera right there, and it's right there.
Look right there.
Well,
right
hello, good people. Welcome to the first Tuesday in February. Woohoo! You're right.
We too far for sound effects.
Right. Not yet. We're not big time yet. But it is the first Tuesday in February. Welcome to the second month in 2021. Let's hope that this month pans out to be a little bit better than last month. We had some bad and we had some pretty good going on in January.
Ooh.
Pick you.
We got a new president.
Yes, he was sworn in and they're already trying to impeach him. So the second month, we're hoping that it turns out pretty good. Today is Groundhog's Day. And that's when I always get his name wrong. Ponce Chili Steve or Fred or it's Phil. It's Ponce Chili Phil. If he saw his shadow, there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. We kind of know that already with these storms going across the United States. But anyway, when I think of Groundhog's Day, I think of that movie with what's his name?
Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray. And he kept repeating the same day over and over and over again. And that is not what I want to do. I don't want to repeat 2020 ever again. And I don't want to repeat the same cycles that kept me going in insane circles. So we're getting past Groundhog Day, going forward, getting better every day. So welcome to Live with AJ. Oopsie. Welcome to Just Moments.
Selfish, man. Just all about you and your stuff. Selfish.
Welcome to Just Moments with Fred and Angela. So if you're just joining us, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at FA Concepts LLC on YouTube. Also on our Instagram page, FA Concepts LLC on Instagram. And if you're watching us here, we're on Fred and Angela Jackson on Facebook. All right, so we have some guests on tonight. This month is not only is this month Black History Month, but it's also this month encompasses Valentine's Day. And it encompasses some great things that are significant in this month. And I wanted to bring some friends on to just talk about love, life, relationships, and all that good stuff in honor of Valentine's Day and Black History Month, because we are Black and we're proud. All right. So without further ado, I'm not going to do I just did a whole lot of talking. So, I can go.
You can go.
But go ahead, and we're going to bring in our guests. We're going to bring in first Pastor Curtis and Kristen Smith.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello. Welcome.
Hola, mi hermana.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, you too.
Qué bueno.
Taco.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Burrito.
I told my sister I've been studying again Spanish, and so I've been learning a lot these past few weeks in my studies. I feel like I'm now in the 5th grade in Spanish, so I'm getting a little better every week. But we're going to save that for another show. And we also have, thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
We also have Doctor. Is there a doctor in the house?
The doctor.
We have the Dr. Stephen. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they doctors.
Doctors.
Yeah, that's all these doctors in here.
Yeah, we ain't doctors.
Médicos.
But let's introduce Dr. Stephen Clark.
Ooh,
and Lady Sydria. I won't say her middle name. Sydria Clark. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
What it do?
And I haven't been called Steven since I was in Virginia.
Dang. Why you got me put my government name out there for anybody? Said, oh,
Right. Well, welcome to you all. I am so excited to have you guys on Just Moments and to be with us on tonight as we, like I said in the intro, talk about love, life, relationships, and ministry and all that good stuff. And you got some hellos already coming in. Yes,
hey.
black love in its fullest in effect right now.
Amen. Woo woo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Forever.
Hey, cousin.
So on tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking about all types of things. But first, let's introduce and start the conversation rolling with the Smiths. How has this shelter in place been for you guys as it relates to your relationship?
Yeah.
That good, huh?
I'll let her start it because she definitely wrote a proclamation declaration when the quarantine started for us.
You guys have been moving and shaking during this quarantine. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes.
Losing, I should say. Moving, shaking, and losing.
We have, yes. We actually, when this all broke out in March of last year, we had a family meeting because I was telling him, you've been all around the world, saving the world, okay? And I know you're going to be home now. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page that I'm the wife and the mama, okay? And you're the employee of Faith in the Valley, okay? I'm your wife supporting you. And now that you're home, don't think that you have to do anything, okay? It's me and Josh. This is what we're doing. And we're going to make sure that this is a house of peace. And we had a little agreement to make sure that we had time, family time, we had work time, and then we had some definitely some rest time as well in the middle of that. In the middle of everything, though, going on, we did notice that we did get that quarantine 15. Okay. And we were like, we're not trying to go the route of gaining lots and lots of weight during this time. We want to be sober minded. And so we actually did a health journey together and we lost over 100 pounds in a year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Together. And so, yeah. So it's been an amazing journey just during this time. Go ahead and share.
Yeah, she said 15. I was more like the real thing, COVID-19. And so, yeah, it's been good, because I've heard a lot of stories. Yeah. I've heard a lot of stories about people just, not having a good environment at home, during this time and having to, stay together, be forced in this situation when it comes to the entire family, when it comes to the children and everything. And so I must say, that we have it's been surprisingly well. We didn't know how it was going to turn out, especially, with, being home. I think Joshua, our 2-year-old is the one that's benefiting the best. I don't know if he's going to be able to handle, me going back to work because all he knows is what this basically has created, and he knows too that when we come into this office right here is that we're working. Right. So he understands that he's like, you going to work, and sometimes he sends me there. So this is our environment. You come in, you're messing up what we got going on out here. Let me tell you how this works when you're not here, okay? So he's like, Daddy, officina. So, but it's been good. It's been really good.
I think I like the fact that we're able to spend time with our son during this time.
Yeah.
I think the biggest part of having a son was I really wanted to make sure that he knew his father, that he knew how to have a healthy relationship with his father. And so seeing those moments happen in this quarantine has been priceless. I really have enjoyed just seeing them grow and him even saying, I want my daddy. Like just hearing him say that is just so awesome. So just soaking all that up, soaking up this time and not taking it for granted. It's all about perspective.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Sid and Steve? What's been some of the things that you've enjoyed during quarantine, and then some things that you've had to adjust to?
Because y'all do have a different adjustment than them.
Yeah.
You guys have moved to our level.
Almost.
Yeah. So first off, listen, Kristen, thank you for mentioning the fact that you all are on a health journey together.
I was mumbling.
Pastor Shade over here is like, see, they're doing it together.
Just like old time.
Oh my God. We're not trying to shake the boats or anything. So to back up, in Christmas time, we were like saying to ourselves, I know this is kind of corny, but we're like, we have everything we need. Like, why are we going to get Christmas gifts for each other? So we said in 2020, we didn't know about the pandemic or nothing, but we're like, for 2020, let's give the gift of health to each other. And we said, we're going to start on this journey.
That's what's up.
So we're like, we want to be better for each other. Yeah. So
that makes sense. I like that.
And the real deal, when you having kids at 50,
you got to be on your P's and Q's.
Abraham had to have.
Go ahead, Abraham. Handle that.
Abraham had to have a gym membership.
Right, right. Because he's just 2 right now. Wait till he gets older, and you really got to keep up with him.
Yeah.
So for us, the quarantine hasn't been too much different in the sense of our home life, because he's still considered an essential worker. So he's at work every day. I think the only thing as far as his working is concerned is, my concern that he's working during the pandemic. But like Angel mentioned, we do have a slightly different scenario at home because we have adult children. So our baby is 20 and she's at school. So she comes home every evening. He loves it. Cameron, he lives in Manteca. He works in Fremont at Tesla. Now, Justin, the middle child, he's 23. He is home, if you call it that.
He ain't never here.
He's never here. And when he is, he sleeps, eats, and takes a shower. That's it. So it's it's not too different than what we were experiencing before.
Okay. Okay.
But you need shout music.
You need shout music. Wow. But what we've noticed is, we've been empty nesters now for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And so we were just getting into a routine when COVID hit. And it was
that COVID mess everything.
We were getting ready to start jet setting across California, the US, because we didn't have nobody else to worry about. And now we're grounded, and there's not too much we can do or too many places we can go. It's opening up now, but it was an adjustment, because if we thought we had a lot of togetherness before, we definitely have a whole lot of togetherness now. And thank goodness, I really love him, because if I didn't, this quarantine. And that's what a lot of people have found during this quarantine, that after all of these years and that time away at work or whatever your extracurricular activities were, kind of help keep your marriage going. But now that you're stuck together, where does that leave you? Right. And so Pastor Kristen and Curtis, maybe you guys can speak to this, through all of this togetherness, what has been some of the balance that you've had to learn? Like you were saying, Josh is making you go to work off of Cena, but is there something else that you had to realize, work on, or even communicate during this pandemic that strengthened your relationship?
And so you definitely have to be, intentional, because, I should say the complacency of then being at home makes you have to become creative, with not having options. You're like, okay, well, let's have, if we have a date night, now you got to consider, okay, well, who's going to be with Joshua right now, who, okay, well, not her, because she's never wearing a mask. She all over Facebook, you know, and everything like that. Different things that you consider. Right. But then when we did have a time to get away, it was like, okay, now we're going. You know, like you know, used to be the movies, you know, used to be something like that, and then I had to come to, you know, the conclusion, not the conclusion, but actually the realization. Like one night, I was like, "Dang, Stockton just sucks, right?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. I mean, outside of, we can't even really walk anywhere. There's not really a downtown life or anything like that. So it causes us to become creative in our recreation, you know, looking that time and basically how that looks and come out of work mode. We had to balance coming out of work mode. Now that we are working at home, you know, it's like, okay, where's the work end? You know, where does the family time begin? And how that, you know, how did that come? So I don't know if it ever is a what we call balance. It's just the management, you know, of that and making it, you know, basically quality every time that you have that time and just learning how to infuse it all. I've been able to appreciate the fact that when we talk about balance is seeing her, I should say in action, while we usually be at the office. So seeing her with Joshua, seeing her with her home, you know, the school and everything like that, helped me to actually just appreciate, you know, that and also understand of how I can help in, you know, bearing the burden or taking the load. And so, you know, being here, I feel like you're reducing travel time now. You know, I like, okay, let me help with this and let me, you know, help with that. And so it just basically the sacrifice don't come out, oh, it's been a long day at work. It's like, no, you know, now let me see what do you do here. So it's a lot of, I should say, not balancing, but managing, I would say more so what I was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
good. You, Steve?
Yeah, I think one of the things I miss, honestly, I mean, real talk, my grind has not changed since shut down COVID-19. As a matter of fact, I got promoted during all of this. So I went from
yeah, the Lord, thank you.
Cue the shout. Where the shout music at?
Right.
Yeah, but with that comes more responsibility. And the one thing that I miss during, you know, COVID, and you know, we're still going through it now. The one thing I miss is I miss our Friday night getaway, even if it's a trip to the bay to get some ice cream and turn around and come back. You know, all of that stuff because when we grind all week, not just with work, but with ministry and Facebook Live and StreamYard, and there's so many different things that we do throughout the week. I miss Friday night reconnect. And although we're semi-empty nesters, but still is, you know, baby girl get all dressed up like she did tonight, and you know, and I get to go out and I get to walk 10 feet behind her, watch everybody in order, and then I walk up and then watch them all scattered and flee 7 ways. So I mean, I enjoy that kind of stuff, and all of that is gone, you know. So what we've had to do is a lot of our different hobbies, like mine, I'm a gym rat, you know, she's not. So there's a lot of hobbies that we've had to learn. And now, you know, we've come up with a new pastime, and that's kind of like our getaway, and we'll just keep it at that. But my point is that there are things that now we do together that when I go, I'm like, you're not going? She's like, no, I'm not going this time. I'm looking at her like, for real, you're not going? You know, because we're so used to going and doing certain things all the time. So I'm glad we're getting back to it, but in a sense, that's something that although we've gotten away from doing what we normally would do, I don't want to substitute the things that we've gained, you know, during the pandemic.
That's good. That's good. You have anything to add to that?
No, because I think for us, we had gotten to a point where we probably were too busy than we should have been, and we had to have a conversation and say we gotta map out this time. And, you know, we got that story way back, you know, when we was with Pure, you know, of you know, as busy as somebody like Bishop Willis was, of how he still did that same thing. I think he has that same day, Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked about it, and it was like, okay, we're gonna start trying to do this again. And old Rona showed up.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, you kind of already said it. We were talking about, we're going to do this on this weekend, or when this time comes for a holiday. One of the things we used to do when we didn't have no money, and I'm still trying to figure this out. When we didn't have no money, we would take weekends like President's Day, Memorial Day, and we do we go to mini vacation, go to a hotel. Now we're trying to like figure out what the cost going to be and all this stuff, and 3 times of what we made then. So it's just planning and putting that stuff back in place.
And that brings me to like prioritizing. We've had to like prioritize things in our lives and to see what really mattered, what made sense. And that's just overall, not just in relationships, like even in our business, we had to prioritize there. Rona kind of helped in that though. I'm grateful for Rona in the sense that it definitely put a lot of things in perspective. And we've had to prioritize things in our lives. So what good? I'll start with Pastor, Sid and Steve. That's how I know y'all. I mean,
we good. Yeah, we good.
Kids offended by me not calling you Pastor.
How dare
They
you?
were respecting you on that show. They were respecting you.
Look,
Not them people.
we friends first. We friends first. That's brother and sister. Same as Kristen Curtis. That's brother and sister. So I can call them Sid and Steve. Please. And they're not gonna be mad, and I hope nobody else is mad, okay? So, and if you are, you'll get over it.
You will.
Go ahead, it's your birthday.
Well, I found some shout music for you too. So next time you want some, I'll be able to do it in. But so what good has come out of the shelter in place, or even this whole pandemic for you, for your family, for your business?
You want to go?
No, you go first.
Okay. I think the best word I can use has already been took by Pastor Curtis, and that's management.
Right.
I've learned, and even as a pastor, and I'm the pastor. I can say this. I mean,
you can say what you want.
Everybody have to feel emboldened. Tell yourself they emboldened.
As pastor, I've learned over the past probably 16 months, COVID included, that the church can come and go, but my wife is going to be forever. So I've learned that that's my day. I don't answer phone calls. I don't take text messages. And when people try to cross that line, they be like, "Well, Pastor, you don't believe me? Bye." And I don't even answer the phone.
Believe me,
God bless those that may caller ID, because I can look at the phone and I can tell this is going to be a bunch of mess. Don't answer it. So all those kind of things that I've learned to manage, and thank you for that, Pastor Curtis. I appreciate that word. I've learned to manage my own time and balance my job, the ministry, and home. Because no matter what happens outside of our front door, when I come home, the one thing I'm happy about is I have a place of peace. And so when I get home, it's a place of peace. And that's the one thing that I've learned in the midst of this pandemic, to make sure that I manage it. Don't bring work home. Don't bring church home. And watch this. We even have church from home, but the moment we turn StreamYard off, so does the church. Literally, the moment we hit end, it's I'm home now. And so these are some things that I've had to learn. I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
You're right.
And I have to do that because, again, with my job the way that it is, I have to make sure that I have as much, or leave my wife as much of her, as much undevoted time. That's what I was trying to get out, as she deserves. Not that I want to give her, but as she deserves.
Oh, nice.
But I don't think he realizes this, but of course, being the wife on the opposite side in the marriage, I realize this. A lot of what we're going through right now, as far as time management, has been things that we learned when he was active duty in the military.
Yeah.
So when we got married, we got pregnant on our honeymoon. Then we had a crazy, horrible pregnancy. And then this kid that came here the size of a toddler.
He was
Right.
18.
Right.
He was 18 when he was born.
Cameron was 9 pounds 8 ounces at birth. So we always tease and says he was an adult when he was born. But what he did, he was working full-time in the military, but he was also going to school full-time. Plus, we were members of a church where we were active, consistent, and loyal. But the church was in Modesto, and we were stationed at Travis and Fairfield. And so I think that time really did kind of prepare us for what we didn't see coming, and that was COVID and being how to maneuver in the pandemic and keep things separate. So for us, it wasn't too difficult to manage our time and separate business and ministry and even the entire family, but just some us time, because we kind of had already went through it. It was tough. I mean, for 2 years, he worked Monday through Friday, but was in school 8 days on Saturday and 8 days on Sunday. He did that for 2 years.
Why we call him doctor?
I didn't get my honorarium for tonight.
Bring the money to the doctor.
I need a pinky ring.
No, you don't.
With a big jewel on
I
it.
got you.
Yeah, so I can, you know,
Big jewel.
I got you.
I did it,
No.
just at least shake a little bit so I can
I got
See.
you.
power my hand.
I got you.
Look at this.
I got you.
Dude, let me get that, Fred.
No.
I'm digging that. I can holler real loud with that.
It'll make you do it, huh?
I'm sorry, I interrupted. Go
You
ahead.
guys are.
We sorry, Sid. We sorry.
My
No,
bad,
you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
You're good. But the managing the time, I think, was a really good thing for us. What we learned then and what we experienced then for now.
Hey, can I say this? If we still on my time or our time, I also learned how to be as supportive, if not more. I don't think I could be more, because while I was doing that, you know, going to school on the weekends and then working 12-hour shifts for 2.5 years, you know, I had the kind of spouse that wasn't cutting eyes at me when I come in the house. How dare you? Where you been? Who
I
you
did
with?
it when you were gone.
Oh, well, when I got home, I didn't see none of that. So now
It was over by then.
yeah. So now what's happened is, in the past probably 6 to 8 months, you know, now she's starting her own businesses. I mean, she's got excellent beads that I might add. I'm learning. And so now I get the opportunity to support her in the things that she's doing, like she supported me in the things that I'm doing.
Awesome.
And I get to sit back and watch, you know, her do her thing and redesign the house and all kinds of stuff
Yes.
to do her the same way she was allowing me to do me. That makes sense.
That's beautiful.
Can I interject for
Okay.
just a minute, since we this is part of what we do. I don't want to pass this up and make sure we have these opportunities to talk about, because we do that because it's our show, but talk about the side businesses, because I saw you roll up the arm. Yeah. So Sid, please talk about that and tell people where they can find you.
Those are beautiful.
Thank you. So I accidentally started a business about 6 months ago, and it really was an accident.
Cash App is
$1.
Princess was leaving for school, and with Princess being the baby and the boys being all the way grown, I just kind of was at a place where I needed something to do, but I didn't want a boss. And we really don't know the power of our words, but I literally in prayer said, all right, God, I need some money, but I don't want a boss. And then maybe a few months later, someone showed me a bracelet and they told me the bracelet was $95. But then again, I said, I probably can make it cheaper. Never made jewelry before, never had an interest to make jewelry before. And quite honestly, I didn't usually wear bracelets because I have such a tiny wrist. So bracelets wasn't even on my radar. But one day while I was out doing some grocery shopping, I went into the craft store and found some beads, made the same exact bracelets. and then gave the bracelet to a friend, but Steve and the kids wanted bracelets. A week from the day I made the first bracelets, I had orders and a business name and a logo. So the business is I'm Bead Sid myself. Like the phrase, I'm beside myself, but it's I'm Bead Sid myself. And you can find me on Facebook at I'm Bead Sid myself and on Instagram at I'm Bead Sid.
Yeah.
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 I love it. I'm gonna be checking it out.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. That's some of the good things that has come out of, having to like quiet the noise around us, right?
That's good.
Because the world was just noisy and we were just shuffling through it, I'm gonna speak for myself. We were just on autopilot, just
No, you ain't speaking for yourself.
going through life, going through the motion, and we were on this escalator that was going like 50 miles an hour. Escalators and moving sidewalks where you're just moving and everything else is moving around you, and you were comfortable because that was your escalator and you were going at the speed that you thought you needed to keep up with everything else that were going crazy around you, right? So now that everything had to go and shut down, you're like, wait, what am I doing? And why am I doing this?
Right.
Yeah.
So we had to reevaluate ourselves, our steps, our relationships, and see what was important and look at the bigger picture, because the bigger picture was always right in front of us. But we didn't see it because we were so busy moving on that escalator and moving sidewalk at the speed of light.
Right.
So, I'm grateful for the pandemic in that sense. So going forward with this conversation, Chris and Curtis, how has what good has come out of the pandemic for you, or the shelter in place?
We know, but go ahead and tell it.
Yeah, one of them we like to eat all the time, but go ahead and
tell it.
I'm
coming over.
I don't know if that's been good for me. But, I should say that when the pandemic started, the first message I preached was don't waste a good pandemic. I was saying that God is going to birth things, in this time. And so, as we look at the devastation that it caused, at the same time, God's the one that gives us water in the deserts, right?
Yeah.
And so, my wife basically took heed to that word, and I'll just pass it a little over to her because she created something that I want her to talk about, and then I'll maybe mention a little something, but go ahead.
Yeah, so he is my pastor, my husband, my friend, my everything. And so when he said that, I literally posted it on my page immediately so I wouldn't forget it. And I said to myself, you know what? I want to do something that's going to definitely change the way that we see language. And so I had this heart and this passion to be able to provide a preschool for my child. So when he turns 3, that he would have a preschool to go to that is bilingual. So I ended up finding a mentor on social media, and guess what she does? She teaches people how to start preschools. And so I ended up working with her, and I was going through the whole process of creating a local preschool. And then COVID hit. So had to change my plans, and then started to go online. And I started to question, and say, God, am I supposed to even be doing this preschool? With everything going on with COVID, my kids are going to have to wear masks. It's just going to be the new normal, right? Mm-hmm. So after going through that, the same day that COVID closed down everything was the same day that my husband was in passing down the hall and said, well, why don't you just start a preschool online? And he chuckled and laughed. And then an hour later, my mentor put it on her Facebook Live. How about we do this and do a preschool online, you guys? You guys ready for this challenge? And so I was like, oh my goodness, this is perfect. Let's do this. And so I started on June 1st, 2020, La Casa Bilingual Preschool online. And
wait, say that again. Wait, say it again.
Say it fast with your accent.
La Casa Bilingual Preschool online.
You get it?
No.
You know what? We're going to enroll Steve.
I know. It's for 3 to 5-year-olds, okay? 3 to 5-year-olds. But we can squeeze you in, okay? You just can't put your camera on.
You dog, man. You supposed to be laughing at that.
Well, you about to say it again?
I just got dizzy. I was like,
oh my gosh. Yes. So it's been amazing. I mean, starting this just a few months in, I was able to actually have my business launch nationwide. They still laughing. Si quieres aprender español.
oh, don't do it again. Okay. Solo puedo hacer una cosa a la vez.
Sí sabes cómo hablar, ¿eh?
Oh, see, I'm not good at talking back. I only know I can speak, but I can't. Don't say nothing back.
Let me do all the talking. Don't say nothing back.
Yeah.
You want to play handball. You don't want to play tennis. You want to play handball. So basically, starting this preschool has given me an opportunity to bring income into the home. My goal was really small. It was just I wanted to pay my mortgage every month. Not big at all. Just to be able to relieve some stress, because we just don't know what's going on with people's jobs and everything. So we were saying, if I could just cover the mortgage, like I'd be so happy. So that's what happened. I ended up getting over 25 students who signed up for my program.
Yeah.
And they're all across the U.S., right, sis?
Not only across the U.S., but now in Puerto Rico. So now
Puerto Rico.
Now, I understood that. That's Puerto Rico.
I'm teaching Spanish-speaking family members English so they can prepare for kindergarten. So I'm really, really passionate.
Oh, wow.
I only want to make sure that all of my students know all the basics to get ready for kindergarten in both English and Spanish. Wow. So I'm having a great time. I already teach online for our college right now. And so I love teaching online. So this right now is just, icing on the cake, because I get to see these beautiful 3 to 5 year olds nationwide, and they're knowing their ABCs in Spanish, their numbers, their colors. I'm just so happy.
I can enroll in your class too.
Amazing.
That's
I'm sorry, classes are closed now until summertime.
Yeah. And the one thing I really like is that the parents actually, when they found out she was a Christian, they actually started asking her to incorporate it. So she actually teaches scripture, and everything. There's always scripture, there's always prayer, there's always a theme, that goes along with it. So God,
that's amazing.
God put his anointing on there to also make it a Christian bilingual Bible preschool.
Amen. Yes.
wow.
Shout music time? Is it shout music time?
Yeah, I gotta cue it.
I love it.
You gotta do the ring, Fred.
Y'all are crazy.
So to find out more info about my preschool, go to lacasabilingualpreschoolonline.com. Classes are closed at this moment, but we are signing up for our Spanish summer camp coming up in June.
All right.
Do you take 47-year-olds?
What's that?
Okay.
She already gave me a crash course. Gave me a crash course in the colors. So she taught me my colors.
Hey.
Los
No,
colores.
I'm not handling all the shade tonight. This is
don't do it, Sid.
First you say I can't count, then she's saying I don't know my colors.
Oh yes, I don't know if you can teach a colorblind person their colors in Spanish.
I'm gonna sit in the back, Sister.
Oh my God.
First Lady Smith. I'm gonna sit in the back of the class in a small chair.
We'd love to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for being my friend.
Good to know people in high places, okay?
Hey, I was trying to protect you so they don't go into the colors. I was trying.
I wore them all just for him.
Oh,
Can he pick him out?
that's
So everyone you see, you got it on.
black.
Right.
Black is a color.
You got one.
It's all right.
Ooh,
Sorry.
Talk about
let's talk about yours.
Well, for me, I already had started a business a year ago, July, with my cake business, Cakes by Smitty. We specialize in different types of pound cakes. And so, what I say the quarantine did for me is that it had me again become creative. So I was like, I'm going to have a cake that signifies whatever this period of time that's going to be known as the quarantine cake. So basically, I created a contest on Facebook where I had people submitting their ideas for types of pound cakes or the different flavors. And I did a contest where people would vote every week and then basically vote on a cake that came out to be the top. And the cake that was picked that was the quarantine cake is the snickerdoodle / churro / toast crunch. All the names that people give to it.
See, actually, we come to y'all's house. Wait, that's you know what's really sad, Pastor? We owe you an apology.
Why?
Because we done say about 9 times we coming over to get some cake, but we ain't seen your kid yet. We owe you an apology. We sorry.
Now, by the way,
We sorry.
You got a cell phone, you got a tablet.
And even Joshua says now, he goes, Daddy, you making cakes that make the people happy?
That's right.
Yes, I get happy just looking at the pictures online.
Right? That snickerdoodle. Actually, I renamed the snickerdoodle. That's the churro cake.
Yes.
For me, it's the churro. Like everybody else is snickerdoodle, but that's my churro cake. I love that cake.
It does.
It's so good.
Supermarket.
I took a part in the icing part, right?
Yes, he did.
So listen to this. It's a snickerdoodle with the cinnamon, right? But then it's cream cheese icing with cinnamon. Oh, Jesus. Yes.
And I should say, and that's been the funnest part for me about the business has been the creative ideas,
Right.
coming up with it. Like for February, if we're plugging, I have the chocolate covered strawberry pound cake, and then also because we run a Bible college, our Bible college students every year we take them and we go to Mardi Gras and we evangelize at Mardi Gras.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because of COVID quarantine, everything is virtual and we're not going, of course. But the King's cake is popular for Mardi Gras. I'm talking about the King cake, so I made a pound cake version of the King's cake and I delivered it to all the students since they weren't going to be able to go to Mardi Gras this year.
Another plug-in, cream cheese. Okay.
So, Curtis, I'm gonna have to ask you right now. I'm not gonna wait. I'm putting in an order for a King's cake for Valentine's Day for the King.
For the King. I love it, sissy.
Yeah.
Great. And the special this month is since you order the cake, you are going to get a free half dozen chocolate covered strawberries with that as well.
And you can't have none.
How gonna be king and can't get none though? That's messed up.
Okay.
This promotion.
I was just telling I want a churro.
I want the churro.
Because the last good one I had was literally at the flea market.
Really?
So I would, and I ain't gonna lie, it was good.
Both cakes.
Okay, we are promoting our niece's business. She's only 16. She has her own chocolate covered strawberries business called Delicias de Tatiana.
Oh.
Yes.
So that's why I want to get her out there. For anybody this whole entire month, strawberries as well.
Yes.
Why can't you just say strawberries though? Why you got to put all that with it?
That's the name of the business.
Hey, somebody needs to type that in the comments so that the listeners and viewers have the information.
Yeah.
I'll put it in there. What you want?
Put it in English.
All right.
And the strawberries.
I'm tasting it myself. I ain't even thinking about nobody else. I'll show you something.
Come back, Fury. Come back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he went all the way there.
I was already sitting at the table there cutting that cake.
and then afterwards.
One more thing about what's good has come out of it.
Yes.
Is that at the beginning of it, I noticed that, like, I think it was March, right? So soon after you had Resurrection Sunday, Easter, you had Mother's Day, and those things started to come, and so we weren't able to gather like like normal. So what I did is I reached out to all of my cousins, and again, I'm like, why didn't we think about this earlier? Because we didn't have to, right? So I reached out to all of my cousins who are all over, the states, and I got them online for my grandmother for Mother's Day. And then when I saw that, from that point on, we started making it a monthly meeting for our family to come on to Zoom and basically connect with each other. We've gone through, I have a cousin who started his own Black ancestry business, like ancestry.com. So he's been taking our lineage. We've been learning about, family members. We've met family that we have never met, before now in this time. So that's one of the good things that have come out. It's actually brought us closer together and allowed us to even appreciate each other more. So I'm now much closer to my first cousins than I was prior to this happening.
That's amazing.
That's great. That's awesome, man.
And that's another good thing that has come out of this quarantine. I think connection and connectivity on a whole nother level, because I mean, we can't go to someone's house necessarily, especially if they live, far, far away. But this is another way that we've gained another way of connecting with people. Now, instead of just connecting with Sid and Steve and Chris and Curtis, I'm connecting with, now it's 15. I think it was like 25 other people that was on together. We were connecting with them, and then they're probably sharing and connecting with other people. So we can connect with so many people now through this virtual mean. And how difficult was it, Stid? I'm calling it Sid and Steve together, Stid. How difficult was it, Steve, to migrate? Because I know you are not all that technically savvy.
At work, I am, though. That's the funny part.
That's the funny part. At work, he is.
Sure. But how has it been for you to now use this platform for church and for other occasions?
I happened to, it was a culture shock starting out.
Yeah.
We end up having to do a lot of new and innovative things. We do StreamYard here out of our home. But the interesting thing is that we've been able to turn, Lady Clark over here has been able to allow me to recreate one of the rooms into a studio. So it's been flexible. It's been a challenge, but go back to your point you just made. We've been able to reach more people every Sunday, and then we're getting more following on our Bible study nights, and then prayer, on Tuesdays and on Friday nights. We've been able to reach more people. I've got family members, down south. My mother and father live in Virginia. They're able to see me every single week. To the point that when we do go back to the building, we're going to have to redo the interior of the church to get it more social media friendly, so to speak. So I can make sure we kind of keep it up. But but starting out, I'll be one of those to admit that I was like, you know what, church is supposed to be in the church, but it took a while to kind of grab hold to the social media presence. And since we've been doing it now, literally it's been about a year. No, it's been up on a year. Coming up on a year.
Wow.
And it's been now I have people now that if I'm not on, or we're on every week, but if they can't find us, they're like, hey, you guys on today? I'm like, yeah, we're on. So they're constantly checking, they're constantly trying to keep up. But to go back to your point, I'm more technical at work than I am at home, because when I get home, I clock out. So
literally.
So a lot of, like, for example, we're on StreamYard tonight. Well, literally the only thing I have to do, honestly, a typical Sunday morning for us, or for me, I wake up, I start Zoom, because we're on Sunday school at 9 a.m. for Zoom. But then right after that, 9:55, we're transitioning out, get ready for Facebook Live at 10 a.m. And literally all I have to do is sit here and hit enter or get on a link, and Lady Clark does all the green room work, all the background. All I got to do is show up and look nice. So and don't bomb. Yeah, and don't bomb because everything is live. So it's not like you can go back and take anything back. So I've had to learn that even in message preparation, that when you're dealing with people face to face in a crowd, you can kind of grab hold to how they're reacting, are they receptive, that sort of thing. But now in my note prep and in my prayer prep, my note prep, now I have to make sure that what I'm presenting is presentable where it can be followed. And then also make sure we got nuggets along the way so that way people can always go back, whether it be 3 months ago, 3 weeks ago, or 3 days ago, and recapture or revisit a message that we've already preached. So to answer your question, it was a challenge starting out, but I've come around, and now I really truly I really enjoy it. Really enjoy it.
Well, my follow-up question to that was, what platforms are you using? But you said during your conversation is that you're using Zoom and Facebook.
Yes, and we're starting. We got to get ready. We talked about doing Twitter.
Yeah.
We got to get the Twitter handle together, and then and let me give a quick shout out if I can. My superintendent, you guys, Pastor Superintendent Davis,
yes,
and First Lady Davis have been phenomenal
yes.
With helping us as far as our intro and showing us some different things of what to do. If it was not for them and their leadership, we still would have been kind of just still doing the Zoom thing.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful to them for seeking us out and basically handing us any kind of information that they have.
That's awesome.
One of the other things that we implemented, because we're not in the sanctuary and we can't just see our church family, God laid it on my heart a few months back to do something with the church family other than church. I'm not knocking church. I'm a pew baby. But the reality of it is we want to make sure that we kept, a connection with our church family, because we're a small church, but we're a family-oriented church. And so we did game night, and we did it once. We do need to do it again. But game night, if you're a pastor and you have access to Zoom or any type of social media platform, game night might be something you could try. And what I did was I gave everyone a few weeks to prepare. And the person who gets all of the questions was actually the pastor. So we all know that, he's got several degrees in theology as well. So I told them this: please don't ask him questions like, what are the gospels?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
that. Please don't ask him, the disciples' names. Please don't ask him who was swallowed by a fish. Don't ask how many books are in the Bible. However, the questions that you ask have to be biblically proven, not a theological discussion, not a debate.
Yeah.
So they had to ask him things. Now, here's the thing. They could ask a question. If he knew the answer, then he got the point. If they asked a question and he didn't know the answer, they got the point. But when he didn't know the answer, he had to do 25 push-ups.
Oh, I love it.
Her wrong answer.
Listen.
I don't bother him.
That's part of your DNA.
That's right. That's the beast right there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
okay, but see, this is the problem. He's super competitive, and he thinks he knows everything else. So when you've done 150 push-ups, it's not just the muscle and the sweat. It's the mental, like, how did I not know the answer?
I didn't know that.
So we wore him out physically and mentally. It was so much fun. But, I don't think the members really thought about this in the beginning, but it really was a way for themselves to also learn something about the Bible that they didn't already know.
Right.
And it meant that they had to pick up their paper Bible,
right,
and actually flip the pages and read them. Of course, you can get online and do it, but it was just so much more fun. And it was a way for us to stay connected to our church family and not just be online when we're doing prayer, Bible study, or Sunday school, or our sermon on Sunday morning. It was a lot of fun, but it forced us to be innovative in order to keep our relationship.
Yeah. The question that got me the worst was somebody asked me a question from some notes.
Oh, it was your daughter.
Okay.
So Princess asked the question. I don't remember what the question was, but this is what made it funny. She was listening to him teach Bible study, but then one night after he dismissed Bible study, he was having a conversation about something that he had taught. And the young man had on a t-shirt that had a saying on it. It wasn't a scripture, it was just a quote. But he said, that quote reminds me of the scripture that says, and he quoted the scripture, his book, verse, and chapter. And so she asked him, Dad, what does this quote mean to you? And how do you correlate this quote with the Bible? And she said, so it was something that you said in Bible study.
I was being led of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. He was completely stumped. And it's funny, if you've never been on Zoom, you guys that are listening to us, if you've never been on Zoom, it's like what you're seeing now. Yeah. It's multiple squares and there's people, and it's like Hollywood squares, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The funniest thing in the world to me as a mom was to sit there and watch him sweat, but then I'm looking right back at his face. It's his face. She looks just like him. He's doing him to him.
That's right.
It's crazy.
That's funny.
I made sure every time he got on that floor, I picked up my iPad and I let them watch him.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So creative. I love that.
That's good. That's good.
So how has ministry been for you, Kristen Curtis?
Can I just tell you this? When he first started our church, our motto was, the church has left the building. So like Elvis, right? Elvis,
that's a t-shirt.
The church has left the building. So his whole mindset has always been outside of the walls of the church.
Yeah.
Because of how he was raised. And so we've always been a missional church, mission-minded, and there's no walls, there's no barriers in regards to how we connect with our family within the church, because we do as well have a small, tight-knit family that have been with us for the last 10 years. And to see them grow, their children grow, as well as their grandchildren, seeing them actually develop in their belief system, knowing about Jesus, has been amazing. I know that they've gone through some hardships, financially, even familial. It's been a lot of struggles. So to be with them and disciple them and walk them through that as pastors has been phenomenal. It's been also engaging with seeing some of his outside friends and even coworkers that are drawn to Pastor Curtis because they just love the anointing that's upon him. And now they're being challenged in their lives and starting to see, what is praying, what is fasting, what is giving, what is that all about? And how do we live the daily life in the middle of a pandemic?
Right.
And we still say, I'm a Christian, right? I still believe that Jesus is, the Son of God. What does that even look like? Even though we're, miles apart with using the platform for Zoom. Tell them, what is it like as a pastor when you decide, I don't want to log in on Zoom right now? Right. What's that like for you, Pastor?
Yeah, that's staying in the pastor study for a while.
Show your camera, Pastor.
So I'm like you, Pastor Steve. I'm like, when it ends, they still be talking, right? I'm like, out of the meeting. Right?
Don't you love that mute button though?
Oh, wrong.
Don't tell everybody our secrets.
But no, I'm like you. I'm like, Jesus was on the main line, not me. Right?
Oh, man. That's what
but at the same time with it, I enjoy what you said. I really appreciate, so when I think that we should change the platform or make it a certain different, I'm being reminded that I'm like, wait, you guys like this, and so it's been really intimate. And for me, with the work that I do as far as community organizing that I do is that I run into a lot of, millennials that are very awake, we say with the term woke, and they actually struggle. They struggle with the fact of, what Western Christianity, has become, and then how it plays out. And they're also, I should say, misinformed when they think about what the church's role was, especially right now when we talk about civil rights. And even myself, I had to do some research asking my dad, like, what was Stockton like when Dr. Martin Luther King, when he was killed, when he was assassinated? What did the churches do? What pastors actually said something? He actually said, son, he says, they came together. He says, but to tell you the truth, a lot of people weren't on his side because of some of the things he started doing. So there was a lot of churches that weren't really rocking with Martin Luther King.
Wow.
And so sometimes when you think that you're putting on what the churches should be doing, it's like, no, that's not what they were doing. It's like some people say this is what we should have been doing. So I bring all of that up is that we're having discussions, I should say, using the word of God about the real life situations. Because I'm not like a pastor just who organizes. Actually, my ministry is organizing as a pastor.
Yeah.
What it is. So that's what the space brings into it. And and it excites me to see them come into that space, and call me what they call the concrete pastor, because it is some of the things that they may have grown up in it, but some of the problems that they have had, coming up with the traditional church is that the atmosphere, I should say, or the setting that we have or what's drawing them into it is that we're able to talk about the word of God and relate it to, where they are right now as the millennial generation. And then allow the older crowd, basically to build those bridges in between. So with Zoom, I don't see us really leaving that, right now, because also the ones that want to come on and just all you see is their phone and not their face.
Yeah.
But they'll talk,
Right.
and that they'll feel comfortable, in that setting when they're not seen at this point. And I'm okay with that.
Right.
Good. That's good. It's been amazing. We're having so much fun being with you guys on this platform, but now we're going to move a little bit to we're going to shift. I hope you got your shoes together because we're going to start asking some questions.
We need.
Okay, I'll go get them.
Two
for him and two for me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You hold one of his. Yeah. And then he holds one of yours.
Oh man! Don't go get some shotguns. Don't get some weapons.
I know how you like shoes, Steve. How you help her?
Wait,
I'm not gonna bring that up.
We can't do that.
Inside joke. Sorry.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Oh gosh.
Sister Jackson, apologize to your followers.
I apologize. I apologize to everybody. Inside joke. So
yeah.
Me.
I'm
going to ask a series of questions to see
I think they're in the garage.
How well you know your spouse, or how much you've learned about your spouse since quarantine.
This is what she reads to figure out me.
Wow. That's enough. That's not even enough.
I got my doctorate in Pastor Curtis and my Smith before.
Right? Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting.
I'm excited. Let's do this.
Yeah, I got my shoes. We got matching bands.
Oh, I love it.
These are my shoes.
Wait, do they have to match?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
These are hers.
One of his and have one of yours.
Yep, I got one of his and one of mine.
All right. So this is like you got to answer first or fast.
Okay.
So get ready.
All right.
So which one do we lift up? His or hers?
Whoever the answer pertains to. So, like question number 1, who's the better cook?
You don't even know.
You're not sure?
Both of them.
My shoes are down. Oh, my bad. Do it again. Ask again.
No.
Right. Do over.
I didn't know the rules. I got it. It's her.
Yeah, so you were saying she wasn't a good cook. She thought she was, but you didn't think she was.
No, I was like, I ain't raising my hand. She'd have been a cook.
No, you answered her.
Okay, I'm with it now. All right.
So who's the first one to say I'm sorry?
What's wrong with y'all, Fred?
We have two different shoes.
Wait, whose shoe was the Nike?
That's
that's mine.
That's his.
So he can't find the other shoes. So he just threw a Nike on.
I know. There's our different shoes. Yeah.
Oh, we need to get the same shoe?
So
We can tell.
Yeah.
So
We
Oh, wait. Let me go get the other one. Okay.
So Chris, you say I'm sorry first.
Yes.
All the time or
Yes.
so you do no wrong, huh, Curtis? Is
And
that what that
I
is?
just don't say no right.
And I see we had a difference of opinion. See, sometimes.
So I gotta put my shoe up there.
You don't see it.
Put half a shoe up,
This
man.
says who says I'm sorry first.
You got yours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
funny.
we both say I'm sorry first.
Yep. Yeah, that's
First.
Mhm.
First.
The key word is first.
First.
Hilarious.
Who's going on the last shall be first, Angela. That's
Babe,
I'll wait for
right
Pat.
in front of the door.
I'll wait for Steve.
He's still looking for
Babe,
shoes. He's still looking
So-
for two pair of shoes that
So
match.
so Steve says I'm sorry first, Sid.
He does.
Okay. That's a good quality to have.
Yeah.
Very good. And not saying that you say sorry, but you don't say sorry first. Thank you. Now we match. I'm forcing him to
I'm
say
sorry, Fred. Hey, I'm sorry.
All right, we good.
He said sorry. He said sorry. Good job, Fred.
Mine first.
Okay. Yeah, now we're on for you.
Who's the better saver out of the two of you? Saving money.
I'm glad you put
Oh,
it there, girl.
I was gonna say
yeah, I was saving. I got it now. I was like, wait a minute.
saving money.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Camera.
I might be a little better, but I don't know.
Before I get to you, I know Sid is a really good saver because she is
Yeah.
good at finding bargains. You want to elaborate on that?
it's kind of funny because as a kid, I didn't really like this, but for some reason, as an adult, I'm crazy about it and I won't really do it the opposite. So me and my mom, my grandmother, my aunts, and my cousins, he's cracking up.
I'm sorry.
We all love shopping at thrift stores. Literally, I mean, people always joke about you must spend all of Steve's money. You must have a lot of clothes. You shop a lot. I'm Mrs. Frugal, super frugal. I mean, like we argue about money, but the funny thing is, he actually argues that I don't spend enough money. But this is I can understand the point. Let me explain because y'all gonna all think I'm crazy when I tell you why he says that.
That problem.
So, for example,
Yeah, I had that problem.
but
Just Obi-Wan.
let me tell you what it is first. So, if I see, like, for instance, a sweatsuit in Marshall's, Target, because I rarely go in the mall. But if it's like $20, it's $39.99. She ain't getting it. I will leave and go to the secondhand store and find it for $5.99. I come home and I wash it or I take it to the cleaners. So this is why he complains. It makes sense, I have to admit. Babe, you really? So you're just going to drive all the way across town to get something that's right here. The money we saved is in the tank. You spent the savings and put it in the gas tank
Right.
to come and get it used. Why? So we go back and forth about how it makes no sense to spend $30 on something I can buy for $5.
Or my favorite one. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm not going to preach this, but But my favorite one is she would go to these stores, especially the thrift store, and something will be $10. Oh, I ain't paying for that. I ain't paying $10 for that. I'll come back. I'll wait until it's $9.50. And I'm like, you mean to tell me you're gonna wait a week, 2 weeks until it's 50 cents cheaper and you here?
Okay. However, on the flip side, he does appreciate it when I go into the secondhand store and I find a St. John knit for $70 opposed to $4,000.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Go on to the next question, Angel.
Now, St. John is something else. Yeah.
I was gonna go to Chris and Curtis. Who was the saver? I see both shoes.
Hey,
Oh, it's Chris. If you a frugal fairy also?
Yes. He aspires to be like me. Let's put it that way.
We rubbing our feet together.
Right.
I find so many good deals online. I'm an online queen. Like I'll look at it in the store and I'll say, oh no, I can get that online for super cheap. Like I can find it. Right, babe?
But I am frugal. She has to make me buy stuff.
Yeah, I do.
All my spending is for her.
Oh, that's a good answer. I like that. All right. Carry your swords, present your swords.
Right.
I ain't going.
Cozy kids know what that is.
Right. Who likes receiving gifts more?
I don't know. What kind of even?
Yeah.
More than
Hey, hold up both shoes.
Oh, both shoes.
We're three.
Yeah. Wait, can you see both shoes?
Yeah, I figured it was Chris. And you guys are pretty tied. He likes gifts. So
for us, it's our first year of marriage. She bought me an iPhone for Christmas, and I went off. I was like, "No, I do not want one of these." No.
I'm like, what? Try this for me.
I wanted the iPhone, but I bought it for him.
Oh. And see, isn't that interesting how sometimes we can misconstrue our love language for the other person because we like it, we do it for them.
Yes.
But it's us that really like it. So I know, and he's the person that I talked about this on our live another time, that he used to buy me so much stuff. He would buy my clothes, and now he buys me purses, and I appreciate that because I love purses. But he used to buy me all this stuff, and I'd be like, thank you. So that's well, I did appreciate it, but it's that I mean, gifts is not my love language. So that's why I had us take the quiz on what your love language was. And that's what I found out, that because he bought all those gifts, he likes gifts more. But I haven't seen what his results are yet to the love language quiz, because I wanted to save it until we were all together. But let me ask a couple more questions and then we'll get to the love language quiz results. Who's funnier?
Oh, that's well, it depends. Because most of the time my funnier is laughing at her.
That's why I say that.
Yeah.
I'm crazy, I know.
Yeah.
Late in the midnight hour, boy, be having brother cracking up.
I just have to say the Bible says laughter is good medicine. That's why I'm super healthy over here in the Smith household, because this keeps me laughing. Keeps me. He's such a jokester. He comes with just these jokes that are just right off the cuff. I'm like,
he's very quick with it.
Very quick, witty. I love it about him.
In West Covina, they don't teach nobody how to give a proper joke. So this is Miss Corn Pops.
I have some jokes, guys. They're corny, but they're really good.
Like that.
They're good for West Covina.
West Covina in their own way. West Covina is
Their own way.
okay.
But I laugh. That's part of the giving, right? I laugh.
Right. Who's smarter? Who's smarter?
I hate that you think that, but okay.
Well, I saw yours go up first, so I figured out.
He's definitely the smartest.
That's why mine was delayed. If you do an instant replay, you'll notice I look first and then
It's
yeah. You guys are pretty much equal on that. And then the last one, I know the answer to this for I think for everybody. Who loves road trips?
Oh, for real.
It's just like travel, no?
I guess.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Anything past 5 hours, I need a plane ticket.
Anything past Bakersfield, you need a plane ticket.
Are we there yet?
Right.
We drove to Vegas.
Yeah.
And by the time we got off of the freeway in Bakersfield, I was fuming.
Wow.
Only halfway there, sis.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute. Especially when you get to a point where you look back and see nothing and look ahead and see nothing.
Are you right in the middle?
Like, this ain't gonna work. I'm not doing this again. I'm flying home.
But that was our love language. We get to look at one another and talk and then look out.
Enjoy the journey, sis. That's right.
Enjoy the journey, right?
Yes. I love a good road trip, and he likes to drive, so it's a good combination.
We sing
right
songs,
there.
listen to talk shows, and laugh.
Yep.
We do that at home.
Hey, then she said she'll do a road trip in an RV.
Yes.
But then I'm gonna be doing all the work. With
The 6 of us should do a road trip together in an RV.
Oh, that would be fun.
Great, right?
It's straight land. I ain't trying to drive no RV around no curves.
well, look,
Great.
well, Pastor Curtis can't drive because he's gonna be cooking.
Right?
So I got it. I'll drive.
I'm making cakes in the RV.
You can make an RV shaped cake. I promise you can do it.
I have to drive. Just don't ask me to do the mountain part.
Oh my! Oh yeah, you and Curtis off the mountain.
Yeah, you missed me on that.
That sounds super fun. I would love to do it. I would love to do an RV road trip.
Yes.
Hey, let's go to a Raider game.
Huh?
Let's go to a Raider game.
Raider.
Oh,
Vegas.
Yeah, a road trip. Five people. You are 1/6 of the people does not co-sign it.
It is not feeling that, you guys.
I'll do a road trip and drive to Vegas if the 6 of us go together.
in an RV.
In an RV.
Not in the car. I don't want to do that in the car.
No, we
Not
got
a car. We can rent an RV and do it.
No, the six of
Oh,
us.
no, the 6.
It has to be an RV.
Yeah, the 6 of us.
But on a Raider game though, on Sunday.
Okay, that's
All right. Okay.
If
Cool.
it's the 6 of us, I'll do it.
All right.
the sacrifice you make for us, sis.
All love.
Whatever cake you want, sister. Whatever cake you want.
So I had us all do the 5 love languages quiz to see where we all stood and if we really knew each other's love language. Now I think I think Sid, you know Steve's love language based on some of the questions that we asked. I think you kind of know. If you want to take a guess, what would you think his primary love language is?
Honestly, I'm not too sure I know. After doing the test myself, I was a little surprised at my own answer. So I can't pretend like I got his down. I can't.
Good. You can't get mad at me then. Like, how you gonna get mad? You don't even know. So
It's honestly either the quality time or physical touch.
Okay. So Steve.
I think mine was the same.
No, that's what I said. What yours would be. It's one or the other. The quality time, not mine. Yours.
I'm trying to.
You don't remember?
No, because now I'm trying to find
You didn't
creative.
save it?
I thought I sent it to her.
He thought he's supposed to send it to you. Did you get it?
You texted.
Maybe I should know this in Spanish. Now would be a good time to teach us Spanish. Kind of get the attention off the fact that I screwed up.
Yeah, let me find it for you, Steve.
Toca tiempo. Toca tiempo. That's all you need to know.
So that's time.
Toca, touch,
Toca.
tiempo, time.
What was the answer when you did yours? Do you remember?
No, it said to send you a link or something like that. And then it
Oh my goodness. Save it.
I ain't no punk.
You didn't screenshot it either?
It's only something.
Just believe it. He's an engineer. Isn't that a trip?
Right.
Wait, drag to reorder Sid's love language. Words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time. Connect to your partner.
Which is yours.
It should be right there then.
Yeah.
On your email.
Oh,
Yeah, I did send it to myself.
connect with your partner now. I supposed to click that?
No. Go back.
Well, I know what my primary is. I don't know what my.
One of yours should be one of those.
Oh,
But you didn't save it.
Look, all right, I'm a game. Just ask me the stuff, and I'll just give you the answer. There you go.
That's the way you're supposed to do it.
But I thought I did it right.
But you don't remember what your primary love language is?
It was okay. If you're looking at it, I was 33%, 33%,
33.
Double, woo, and 10.
Oh, great.
Wow.
So whatever was at the top two was 33, 33, 10. Isn't that what y'all
You're
was?
hilarious. Yes. Quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, and receiving gifts.
Okay, I was 30. That one was 33.
And words of affirmation.
That was 33.
Okay.
And
Acts of service.
I think that was 20 something. And then that was
Physical touch.
that was 30 something.
Receiving gifts.
They're all
That's like,
That added to
150%.
That added to 100.
if I had my Android back, I'd have had this stuff locked in.
Oh. Okay.
Don't,
So
don't
you
go
believe-
back, bruh. Don't be trying to go back.
I can't, man. I'm digging this phone, man. I can't go back.
So you
Speaking of which,
primary
guess what his job bought him, Fred?
What?
iPhone?
iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
See,
Finally.
they even got into time and got rid of that big old
That satellite.
Yeah.
it was giving
It
you.
was a stereo system.
That was
Really
easy
big.
to go home.
So I thought it was going to be quality time or physical touch.
And you
I
said
think it
yours was physical touch, right?
Mine is quality time.
I think mine was too.
So then that means you get along just great during this pandemic.
Yeah.
For the most part. Until I ask him what color something is.
You know what? Get a color wheel. Get a color wheel right now. I'm gonna fix this.
You got one. It's sitting right next to you.
Right.
Rojo, amarillo, verde.
Don't do that. Okay, look.
Maroon.
Blue, yellow,
Alejandro.
know the rest.
pink,
What's this?
orange.
You are sure got it
Because I'm
right.
scared. Because you know them periwinkle and fuchsia and stuff. I know what this is. I know the basic
Oh my
8.
God.
Primary colors, yes. You'll do good in my class.
Colors.
You'll be good with my class. The primary colors. That's all we do.
And you'll be just fine.
Perfect.
Back in the 70s, men won't talk to you like this in front of women. Women was quiet. Oh man! Don't make me get my coat hanger.
Oh, I'm telling you, my face is hurting from laughing.
Man, I know my colors.
You're messing up the program. BA.
My love language, I'm tired of getting abused. Made fun of.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Chris, what's yours? What do you think Curtis's is?
I was a little confused, to be honest, because we did this already when we first got married, like 5 years into our marriage. And so when I did my quiz, I was like, whoa, it totally changed. So I'm very curious to see what it is now for him. I think for my guess for him, I would say quality time, just like Sid was saying, would be probably number one for him. Quality time.
So Curtis, what do you think hers is without revealing your answer yet?
It's either words of affirmation or physical touch. I wouldn't be surprised if they were very close. But yeah, it would be one of those. And also the same thing is that when I was doing it, I was looking for a third answer.
Right. Yeah, the two different answers.
I need another answer. You know,
Right.
it depends on the situation. Yeah, but that would be my guess. Either words of affirmation or physical touch as the highest for her.
So was he right, Chris?
Yes, he was right. He right. Words of affirmation is like the top 33% is what I got for words of affirmation. Like, I need you to just tell me, like, am I doing well as a wife, as a mother? Like, am I, like, what am I doing? Like, I need to hear from you, Pastor. I can't read your mind.
Right.
So if you like what I'm doing, if you enjoy how the house is clean, how the, like, tell me what's going on so that I can keep doing it and be excited about doing these things that I may not thoroughly enjoy doing.
Right. So
yeah, words of affirmation.
So is she right?
Oh,
for you.
For me?
Yeah, did I guess right?
Did you guess for me?
Yeah, you got it.
Yes, yeah, my highest one is quality time. And I believe that, she knows that because it's definitely, you guys know the season because you guys been there several times before me. But, Joshua takes up a lot of time, and you like, that's the baby, that's and everything like that. But I think this little Negro knows. I think he knows, and he knows like even when I would go home for a business trip and come back home, it's like, like, what you doing here, man?
Why are you here?
So yeah, so I really appreciate that. I mean, from the beginning, y'all know, right? I mean, from the beginning, the first thing he wanted was her uterus, right? And then after that, he wanted her breast after that. Those were his and everything. So this brother, and he's taking everything. I'm like, half her back. I'm just saying. Give her back.
He said, I want her uterus. Oh my gosh.
That's mine.
You're so silly. Oh my god.
That's mine.
If I ever see you and your son having a disagreement,
you just know what I mean when I'm going down the street playing "The Girl Is Mine."
Right.
You know what? That actually kind of reminds me of something that happened here. Like I told you, Princess is 20, but when she was maybe, I don't know, 12, let's just say 12. Ever since we've started dating, every month he buys me what he calls a period relief package.
Oh, I think I remember him talking about that.
Yeah.
So, and then the period relief package literally is all of my likes. So it can be anything from donuts to candy bars, Ritz crackers, Gallo salami, Gatorade, So, and it's not all of it. Yeah, it's not all of it. sometimes it's one thing, sometimes it's a bag with several things in it, but it's different, but it's always something like that because it's the stuff that I like, right? So every month I get this package. Well, when Princess became a woman, she comes and tells her dad, Daddy, oh, a little punk, but you did it though.
But
So he goes and he buys her a bag and got all this chocolate stuff in it because that's what she wanted. And I was like, Doc, you got to get your own man. This is mine.
Oh, I love it. I love that story, Sid. That's cute.
That's
Okay,
hilarious.
here you go.
So
I just got 37%.
if
He
I
was good to test.
You all did it. Look, all right. Acts of service is 13 and 2. I think.
still trying to find it.
What was
20 and 3.
Go to the beginning of it. It was quality time.
Bless you.
Quality time. Bless you.
What's this 5 down
That's the title, the 5 love languages.
Right.
I don't know, but it was quality time and physical touch were the first two.
Mia Moore. See what I just did, Sister First Lady Smith.
Mi amor, I heard that.
Mia Moore. That's all it is. We don't need no numbers to qualify what's really happening with us. Mia Moore.
Hilarious. Oh my God.
Well, I think for me, if I had to guess for Fred, since I am guessing for Fred, I didn't see your answer. I saw 33%, but I couldn't see because I don't have my glasses on, so everything kind of blurry.
Right.
I think his is well, I believe it's still gifts, and probably a close second would be words of affirmation. So what would you guess for me?
Physical touch. You like quality time too. I'm like that. I need that third one in there. Somewhere between the quality time and the words of affirmation. All right, you clown me in front of everybody with the gifts thing. So I already know.
Right.
Well, actually, my top one, it was two of them that were like both 33. So the top one though was acts of service, and then the second one was words of affirmation.
Okay. So my first one was quality time, because I think as you get older,
how much time you want? We got everything.
Older, I think there's a shift. And so it's been and then myself, because that was the biggest words of affirmation.
Right on that one.
Yeah,
because I know you like to be told, "Good job, boo, good job." He's like a little cat. He's been that way though for a long time. Like this one time, cat. He went and bought this car. He went and bought this car now. Without me knowing
a whole car.
I mean,
this ain't a frugal story, by the way.
He brings it home all happy and excited, like, "Woo, look at this!" And I'm looking like, "What in the world?"
Wait a minute, what did I say though? What did I bring? I brought it home for who?
That car? What?
See, there's an iPhone story right there.
That's
I
right.
did not want the car.
Who wanted the car?
It was like a Z71 or Chevy or
that was the Explorer, the first Explorer.
No, that wasn't the one I was mad at. The one you took back right away. I was with you when you bought this car.
Well, which one did you buy without her knowing?
I thought we saw the Explorer.
Truck type thing, blue, half truck, half SUV. I don't even remember. He did it all by himself.
Oh my God!
I got that one.
Yeah, because he buys cars too.
That's when I had the black truck, dog.
Black truck.
Yeah.
So he bought this car, brought it home, all excited and happy, and like, look what I bought. And I'm like, what in the heck have you done, man? I'm like, look, bro, that's not gonna work. You need to take this car back. And so I'm like, he was all grinning like he killed a mouse for me and brought it back. That's why I said he's like a cat. You're gonna go kill a mouse and bring it to my doorstep. Like, look at what good I did, and that was not good.
Don't you like?
I do not like. Me no liking. That's what happened. That car went back, and he got
crazy.
The Corolla.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's how we got the Corolla.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
More economical. More.
Buy a car or spend over $200 without me knowing.
We have that agreement. Yeah.
That's when I'll literally beat people up at the store or at a car lot, and they try to call me weak, because I let them know, you can't whoop me, but I ain't gonna let my wife whoop me.
He's about to get whooped on that day, though. I'm like,
I'm saying after that happened,
I'm like, look, bro, that is not gonna work.
I was looking for a car. I think that's when we got the Explorer that we have now, and I told the guy, I said, well, you know, man, I gotta talk to my wife before I do this. What you mean you gotta talk to your wife? You know?
He better.
I said, bruh, if I got to fight you or her, you getting beat down. Because I ain't no punk. So that would tell you that should tell you who I'm scared of.
Right.
But yeah, I told you what mine were what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so I figured
I got one.
I figured you like the words of affirmation. He always wants to be know that he's on the right track.
You need to know I'm special.
Right. That quality time, though. I mean, we both work from home. We're actually in our joint office right now.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I have to tell him your conversation from your job is too loud. I can't hear my conversation from my job. So I mean, we both have headsets and stuff.
I didn't hear you pass that back.
Well, sometimes my conversations are loud and spirited. So okay, I passed it back.
All right.
You happy now?
Move on.
Okay.
Move on.
Dang, get testy up in these. Getting testy up in this piece. But anyway, yeah, I love that that I was able to take that and find out even more about me, because I thought my love language was one thing, and after taking that test, I found out, I didn't realize I was more on this side now than I was before, because I don't think acts of service was anywhere on my radar when I took this test a long time ago.
Me too. It wasn't at all.
Changed. So now it's like, man, if you wash a dish, I'd be so happy. If you sweep a floor, especially all this hardwood, I would be so happy. You can vacuum too. We still got
say this, and Steve don't say nothing. But I still say I think the transition of moving up here, I think it changed some of that. I think it, because when we got up here and we started doing our daily grind, that was easy. But the weekends, holidays like work holidays, we're always together. We didn't really know anybody when we first got up here.
Mm-hmm.
So the first, 3 or 4 years, it was us. It was just us and
me, you, and Alyssa.
Yeah, and Alyssa. And so, I got used to that. So the quality time thing kind of changed levels.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Now I'm used to it. Now I'm like, hey, I'm going somewhere. You want to go?
I'll be like, no, I'm good.
Hey, but did you guys notice? And I think I can't remember if it was Pastor Curtis or First Lady Smith brought it up, but how sometimes over the years things change, your language changes. Like, for example, I'm not really big into getting gifts. I mean, that's never been my thing. But when I get a gift, it, like this past Christmas, just kind of just blew me completely away.
He screamed at the top of his lungs like a crazy lady in the. I mean, like,
right, huh?
Because and to put it another way, my son even said it best. He was like, because every year, for Christmas, everybody does nice things for everybody, but most of the time he said, Dad, we always do for Mom, or we do for for everybody else, but we never get Dad. I'm not easily got.
Yeah.
So this year, it was like a collective effort to get me.
Yeah, it took all of them.
Yeah, and it got me, and I didn't realize. I was like, man, it like literally brought tears to my eyes. I didn't. I've never been on that receiving. I'm usually on the other end.
He's not one that's always receiving gifts. Isn't his thing. I mean, I could buy him stuff all day. He'll appreciate it. He'll be happy, but that's not his thing. That's my thing. It's not his. But the kids came to me a few months back and they were saying, we really don't know what to get Dad. And it's not because he's hard to shop for. He just doesn't want a lot. He's not a gift receiver person. So we knew this year that we really wanted to get him. And by get him, we meant like jolt him really good, shock him, make him scream, jump up and down. And so it took us.
What did you get?
Oh, everybody knows. It's not a secret. So we bought him a Smith & Wesson 550 cal.
That made you scream and jump up and down?
You want me to go get it?
Yeah.
No.
He wants it. No, this is how excited he is. He literally asked me if we could put it in the china cabinet.
Whoa.
No, Reverend, we can't.
That excited. Wow.
But we do, right? we do love hanging out at the gun range. We do have a small collection of firearms in the house. But this one was something that he had been looking at for a while. And he wasn't gonna buy it for himself, so we got it for him.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
Can it fit the screen?
Yeah,
gotta keep going.
Yeah,
wow.
It's huge. It's huge.
Wow.
Have you shot it yet, Steve?
Yeah, man.
I'll send you the video.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it's something
that the revolution goes down. I'll bring the cake, but we come to stay at your house.
Okay. Come on. Something that he had been looking at for a while, and he was always really excited when he would see it, but he just wouldn't have bought it for himself. So me and the kids and my mom and Princess Godmother, we all got together and got it for him.
He's so excited.
Good plan, Steve. Good plan.
Stop playing with your toy.
No, I'm sorry.
Surprisingly, he doesn't put it in the bed with us. I'm really surprised.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
I have to honestly say though that I was really into like gifts because I was raised with a mom that was just a giver. She loved giving gifts. So I was raised in that type of environment. So when I got married, I was expecting gifts, you guys. I was like, if you love me, you're gonna give me a gift. 15 years later, it was 0% on my gift love language. 0. I was like, what? Like, I don't even want gifts anymore. That's weird.
Wow.
Crazy.
So yeah, the surprise factor, if you guys see my stuff, surprising her is actually creating atmosphere and doing things that are, out of the normal. The actual gift of material gift is, asking. I forgot that guessing thing, for several years now. It's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Right.
I want to get you what you want.
Yeah.
So,
I love that. Yeah, I just tell him because I'm like, you're not gonna guess this. So look, let me just tell you what I want.
Got my feeling.
How creative he was. Okay, so for our 15-year wedding anniversary, in the middle of a pandemic, we couldn't go to the movies or go out to dinner to celebrate. So you know what he did? He actually created a scavenger hunt around the whole city of Stockton to be able to have me find like a reenactment of our wedding. And I walked down the aisle and I just experienced us getting married all over again. And every single thing led up to the next location and then the next location. So it was super, super fun. And he's so creative. So to me, that's like giving of his imagination, of his creativity, like totally warms my heart. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good there, Pastor Curtis.
Good job, brother.
Good job there, buddy.
That's what happens. You educated, brother. See?
You buy a cake, I write out a plan too.
Thank you. Hey, am I hating if I like do that and send you on a scavenger hunt?
Are you hating?
Is that hating? If
No, but I would suggest calling Kristen and asking her to do it because she would enjoy it. I would get mad.
I'm gonna say you ain't gonna go do that.
I would get mad. I would be like,
Go where?
I really don't like road trips. Quit that. Go.
right.
Yeah.
Don't have me all across that city, Steve. That's right.
Yeah. The first one, okay. The second one, I'm good. But about that third one, I'm be like, hey.
Hey, yeah. You can drive all day.
Wrap this up.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Wow. And you know, my thing is, it's not that I don't like gifts per se, but the biggest gift for me is like having, just like this is a gift right now.
Yeah.
With me, you know, I'm not with you physically, but this connectivity, I love the connectiveness.
Happy birthday.
I'm planning to get my hair done and get my nails done, and he gonna buy me another purse. So I mean, I'm good with that.
We're gonna have quality time with that one.
Right?
I'm not picking this one out.
Hey, the one thing we get quality time, something I had to learn is I started getting pedicures and manicures with her.
Yeah, but you know what? Fred and Angel were the ones that got you to do it.
You sure did.
Yep. Yeah, because he wouldn't go with me. I would ask him to come to the nail shop with me.
Like, I ain't trying to do
get a
all
pedicure, and he was just like not having it. But I think just because of the relationship that Steve and Fred have, and the relationship that we have as couples, now he's
you gotta go.
Yet?
Where's my nail clipper?
Hey, he's always chasing me around the house with a nail clipper.
Look, I'm telling you, they got this chair, man. Depending on where you go, it's one of the ones that got the auto roller and all that kind of stuff. And you sit there, and they put your hand in like this little juice or whatever it is, and soften your fingers up, and then they put your feet in this small thing and with bubbles and stuff, and you can just sit back and just feel.
That's not the commercial we want you to have, okay?
You know what I meant. It's the bomb, but it's something we
first one that got me. She was that definitely got me going to get massages and and things like that. She's one that
yes,
and so
acupuncture.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Chiropractor.
I love
chiropractor.
Yes.
Wait a minute. The first month after we got married, she had me hiking up a volcano in Hawaii. I was like, dang, I know I'm in love.
Pumping everything. He's like, hold on.
I'm coming, baby.
I'm right behind you. Now I still got to take y'all to the man cave version.
Is it open yet?
I haven't checked, but I'm if these other ones are open, I'm assuming the men have to be open.
Mei-Ling open.
Well, it's Mei-Ling and El Grove.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Disclaimer. I apologize for whoever I offended with that comment.
You beat me to it.
Yeah. You said it first.
Yes, sir.
But can I share real quick with now knowing her first one is words of affirmation, and this is something that I just basically came into the knowledge of learning, and actually not really just learned, but I used it in a message once when I talked about it's on YouTube. This doctor did an experiment with water, and he actually spoke to water. He had one that he spoke to, one that he didn't speak to, one that he had ignored. And when they looked at it in the microscope, they saw in the one you were speaking good words and affirmation to that there was beautiful crystals that were forming in that water. The one he ignored had like dark, it died, right? And so, when she, she came up with that, I was just reading that and I was thinking about, wait a minute, we are formed out of, 70% water is what we're formed at in our bodies.
Right.
So it even made even more sense for me as I'm looking at this being her number one, is that if I speak these words to her, not only am I giving her what she wants to hear, but I'm actually creating what I want for her to be inside, that forming, and that I'm speaking to those things that God made for me to speak into, to create the beautiful woman that he made her to be.
Ooh,
What's your cash app? Oh my goodness.
So if I preach that Sunday, am I hating?
You're not hating.
Okay.
You're not hating.
Sunday morning message.
First time you say second time is him. Second time is yours.
Yes, I heard somewhere the spirit.
I heard, right?
I heard, otherwise you'd be biting his message.
So I have to mention this, as he mentioned about words of affirmation, is because of the fact that I love words of affirmation, I actually speak words of affirmation to my son every single day. I'm very intentional about that. And so guess what it's like now for him? Now Joshua speaks words of affirmation to his daddy and says, "Good job, daddy. Great job on your cakes." So now it's like the love language that I have is pouring now into my son, to my husband. And it's like a fluid love language that we have to each
I
other.
love it.
He loves hearing it from his son. Maybe not all to me. He doesn't.
But that's the thing I was saying, is that I think now I understand why they have the different ones, the love languages, because I know she loves me. So my love language now is the quality time, spending time with her.
Yeah.
With my son, to hear him say in his whole innocence, just 2 years old.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daddy. Daddy, that's so good.
That's amazing.
You're doing that. That's amazing. Daddy, your cake is delicious.
Wow.
Like, okay, son.
His vocabulary at 2 is phenomenal.
Well, I gotta read it because I see it every single day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't do his ABCs with him. He did his ABCs in Spanish, and I had to wait. I had to pause. I was like, I don't know the next one.
Oh,
wow, this has been an amazing conversation. I had so much fun. My cheeks are hurting from all the laughter.
Yes.
I love our connection. That even during this pandemic, I've been able to actually see your face in person and be in your presence. And that even though it was time and distance that kind of kept us from doing that as often as we probably would have, but it doesn't matter, because as soon as we're back together, it's like no time has ever passed.
absolutely.
Right.
And I definitely love that. I love you guys' relationship together, and I love our relationship as couples and friends and brothers and sisters in Christ.
Yes.
So I appreciate you all for being with us on tonight, but I'm going to give you guys some last words before we leave, to either share something that would probably bless some other couples that might be listening, or to share your business or your singles. Yeah, those that are even thinking about being married. So if you have anything you want to share, I'll start with the pastor's Clark.
Marry your friend. I would say that, well, the most important one is be led by God, for one, but I mean, that's a given. But 2, you got to marry your friend. You got to marry somebody you like, because if you don't marry, being in love is great, but you also got to be in like, and so you got to marry your friend. You got to marry your homie, your companion, your lover, your laughing partner, your just people that you can be on a road trip with in a car.
Come on now.
Driving along this.
To the road trip, right? I'm just bringing them with us.
Really, real talk. He was somebody that you can be with, that you had the same. You don't have to like the same things. You have to. I mean, we got so many different interests. It's not even funny, but she's my friend. So if you don't marry your friend, you will be miserable. You have to marry your friend. And I know some people say, "Oh, if you marry your friend, they'll mess up your friendship." Not if you're in love and now it's by God. If you're in love and it's by God, the best thing you can do in your life is to marry your friend.
Yeah.
That's just my thing.
I would say if you're single and you want to be married, pay attention to the red flags.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a recent scenario last week, and I won't name any names or even tell the scenario, but the individual wants to be married, but I don't think the individual is paying attention to the red flags with the person they're in relationship with. And I wasn't sure I was going to actually say it this way, but I will, because I think it really matters. Sometimes when you're in a relationship with a person and you're dating and you're courting, there are certain things that can be allowed because it's just a circumstance.
Mhm.
But if the circumstance has some attachments, then it's actually a symptom.
Mhm. Mhm.
And a circumstance is something that I can accept this for right now because of what happened that caused this. But a symptom, that same thing can be a symptom when you're not working to get out of it or working to change it or to better yourself.
Right.
So know the difference between circumstances for a season and symptoms that could be something much bigger. And for those that are married, continue to date.
Yeah.
Just because you're married doesn't mean, okay, now we have to be bored and boring and not do anything or go anywhere, not upgrade yourself. You know, just date, still have date night. It's important no matter how busy you are, no matter
Right.
what your obligations and responsibilities are. Once a week is good, but if you're extremely busy, you've got to do it once a month. If you don't, in 6 months, you won't know each other. Because like we all figured out when we did this quiz, not only did our spouse not know for sure, but we figured out our spouse didn't know when we realized we didn't know ourselves.
Right. So good, sis.
So without that
Whoa.
date night, you really can lose yourselves, and you'll start to disconnect because you don't know each other, because you don't really know what each other likes. And now you have an issue because you don't know what you like either. How do you fix what your spouse likes when you don't know what you like?
Right.
And so it's important as a married couple, still continue to date, still continue to check in.
That's good.
I love that.
Chris,
Yeah, I'd say speaking to my single folk, I remember single life. It was nice.
She said,
No, I have to say that if you're really looking for a mate, start to be that mate that you want to be.
Yes.
Right? If you're saying, "Ooh, he's got to have this, he's got to have that, or she's got to have this," do you have this? Do you have that right now? Okay,
Right.
so think about doing some personal development of yourself first. Start to develop your relationship that you have with God. You know, building up your confidence, building up, you know, your purpose, right? Your passion, whatever you are supposed to be doing. Because once you get married, if you don't know who you are, you don't know the purpose, what you're going to do is actually create this toxic environment where you're trying to look at your spouse to say, tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So really doing some self-reflection and figuring out what is your purpose in life. Spend some time praying, meditating on the word, spending time growing yourself. If you're easily angered, work on that.
Yeah.
Right. Work on the areas that you know kind of like will trigger you. Because when you come into marriage, it's like iron sharpening iron, right? And you're going to see that there's going to be some friction. There's going to be some heat that's going to come. That's not going to feel comfortable sometimes, but you're going to have to grow. And so as married couples, as Sid was saying, we have to take a look at ourselves individually. And are we an instrument? Are we a tool being used by God to bless our spouse? Do you wake up every morning and say to yourself, God, I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you, Jesus. How can I now be in love with my spouse and make sure they feel your love today?
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Get into that groove with saying, God, Holy Spirit, what? You want me to do what? Oh, I don't know. and you do it, and then they're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. And there's that appreciation and gratitude that you have about your spouse. So I would definitely say, watch your words, make sure you're speaking life to your spouse, make sure that you're loving on them, because guess what? Somebody else may be loving on them a little bit more if you're not doing your job, right? So just know that God has called you to be a wife, to be a husband. And in those moments, really ask the one who created you to say, how can I partner and come alongside to be a helpmeet to my spouse in their seasons, right? Whether they're going through pregnancy, whether they're going through starting their business, whether they're going through going back to school, like Steve said, you know, what does that even look like, and how do you endure past challenges and through pandemics and all of that? So that's what I would say.
Cool.
Good.
Amen.
And the woman didn't drop the nuggets up in here today. For me, I would just say, you know, again, God is the glue, you know, in the whole equation. You know, it says, you know, do not enter into this lightly. One for my singles is wait on God. You know, there's been times, you know, where you think you know you have it, but you need to be sure.
Right.
This is no be sure. And because what he has for you, you know, I told her when I first asked her to marry, I said, I prayed a Toyota prayer and I got a Mercedes blessing.
Oh.
So I said,
yeah, that was good, Pastor Curtis.
No.
Didn't know I had Volkswagens in the past, right? I was trying to make it right. If you're watching, I'm sorry, but
don't apologize.
You're trying to get that right. You're trying to get that right. You know, make it what it's supposed to be.
But when you know, and then with that though, is knowing that you're whole, as you know, even Lady Sydria was saying about knowing who you are, knowing what you want.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it says God takes one and he makes one and everything. Too many times we're looking to somebody to complete you.
That's right.
Right.
And God is the one that's supposed to is the one that will complete you. So when you come in with looking for something that you're trying to get somebody else that God is supposed to be in charge of, you know, that creates basically a fractured marriage. You know, they're in that relationship and there you're working on it, you know, striving together, trying to make it happen. But I'm saying, if you wait on him, let him do the work, the perfect work that he wants to do in you first.
Right.
You know, so that you're lacking nothing, is that you bring your whole self into that, and you're not looking for that other person to complete you, but they actually were made to complement you.
Yeah.
Right. That's good.
And you don't go into a whatever of trying to be in competition.
That's good.
Because you're in completion. Be through God, who has basically complemented you with your rib that you're supposed to have. But wait on the Lord. Right, you know, that's just not just a message, but no, really, truly wait.
Look at
that. Because what he has for you is almost better than what you think you're getting.
Fred, pass me the pen when you get finished.
Fire, babe. That's good.
That was awesome.
That was good.
Wonderful.
That was great.
Oh, you gonna let me? Oh.
Yeah. This has been very, very fulfilling.
I do want to say this, since we do have him on air.
Yes.
And
oh, yes,
him,
definitely.
We was talking by text about this, but this show now hit. We haven't hit a year yet. I think it'll be May.
Yeah.
May or June when we hit a year. But when we moved up here to Elk Grove, I was having conversations, and I was probably having them with both Curtis and Steve at the same time, but it was just so much going on, and I was amazed at the state of church, of being that, you know, we spent 19 years out of ministry, and we were at, you know, I can say we were at the top levels of that ministry, and then we moved, and now we're trying to find a new place. And so now we're the new kids on the block, and you get that new person feel, like going to a church and they got theme music. When I was having this conversation with Steve, I love him. Don't go that. I love that. I love him. I'm not gonna say his name, but I love him. We developed a wonderful relationship.
keep going. Go ahead.
You okay?
You the one made it worse. When I was telling Steve about this, Steve was like, "You should document this. You should document, how you feel, how churches are becoming more business modeled than spirit modeled." And for the first few years, we didn't really do anything. Otherwise, we didn't do anything at all. And then we sat in a eye doctor's chair and got to just being who we are, just as we are with y'all. And the young lady said, y'all need to do something, because y'all need to take this on the road, whatever, because y'all just comical, all this stuff. And I said, well, my best friend said we should be doing something. Mm-hmm. And so I think about a month later, we launched this show.
Wow.
And everybody that's been on, to people that have been dedicated to watching. I know we got a short crew now because we on past what we normally do. We usually only on an hour, and we done jumped over 2 hours.
Oh,
but yeah, that's just how good it's been that we. Curtis got the record for the longest time with 3 hours.
Dang!
When we did the voting thing, which people really,
that's
and that's the thing. People were they really appreciate,
they stayed engaged
the platform that we're bringing, and we're so grateful. We're so humbled. But Steve, I wanted to give you your flowers while you here. I ain't got no flowers in here.
Give me the Black Panther.
I got a drink. But we wanted to say, bro, thank you for speaking into our lives, and we're thankful. It may have took us a while, but we're thankful that we obeyed, and it's been a blessing. And so it's really been a blessing to actually have you guys on, because we love you all you guys so much, and we're so thankful because you all have been there. Me and Steve was talking today about just how long we've been married, and just how, just like, oh my God, I can't believe we've been married this long. We use our kids to help us remember.
Right. To remind how old they are.
So I messed him up with Alyssa today, with her being, she's gonna be 28, right?
Yeah, Alyssa's gonna be 28.
I can't.
She didn't want me to say that, because then you start figuring out that other
She and I are going to be the same age coming up.
Fred married a 3-year-old.
That's hilarious. Right? Sure did. But I also wanted to,
the county sheriff.
I also wanted to say to my sisters, my girls. I mean, they've been there for a very, very, very long time. Sid and I have been friends since we were like little girls together. I am her senior, but we were still friends since we're very young, and our friendship has been nothing but great, and it's had its ebbs and flows, but you know what, it remains solid. And that's what true sisterhood is that it doesn't matter what happens, if we bump heads or whatever, that's okay. Just like Chris was saying earlier, that when iron sharpens iron, sometimes we have that heat residue from the iron, but you know what, it's okay, because it cools down afterwards. And I appreciate all that she brings to my life, and to my sister friend Chris, from the moment that we met, I mean, the very moment that we met, there was an instant spark.
Oh yeah,
a bond and a relationship, because we met at someone's wedding.
Yeah, we were at a wedding.
Yeah, at the park, in the park, and I didn't even know who you were, but it was like that instant spark. We started talking and had that conversation for seemed like for hours, and it's been nothing but great, and it's gone up from there. And I appreciate there was one time that's very memorable to me, was after we moved here, and we were like really struggling because we were like not sure where we fit. I mean, we had this, we have this house and everything, we had our jobs, but we were like in limbo when it came to finding a church home and things like that. But she prayed with us and she spoke into our lives, in this very room. And I can still remember, and I think we're still riding on those prayers that she prayed over us in that night. So I appreciate you ladies for being who you are, for being authentic, for being your true selves. No matter what comes or goes, you guys just remain that solid piece of friendship that I can glean to. Like if I'm having a really rough time or whatever, I can call, text, and say, hey, I'm not doing too good today. Can you pray for me, or can you talk me off the fence or whatever? And I know that if I ever do that, and whenever I do that, you're always there. So I appreciate you, ladies.
We love you.
Love you to pieces.
I love you guys too.
Angela.
He said, what she say?
That's what I mean. Like, you know what they talking about, dog?
Yes. Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
got it.
That's his own little language. Just got
everything.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this. I know I've been clowning all night, but I'm trying to learn Spanish. I only know like 8 sentences. So I tell the guys at work who try to teach me Spanish, I said, there's a small village and way down in like somewhere like by Mexicali or something like that. About 25 of us, but we all speak the same. And everybody else's Spanish is wrong.
Oh,
ours is right.
Oh, they speak.
So when we get together, we just talking and we just having a good old time in our own little villa.
I think he lives there too. He lives in your little.
We go over to the family reunion in Mexicali. You can come too.
Oh wow! You guys,
he's my amigo.
A man.
Gracias.
Pray. I live with him.
I don't see how you can do it. My ribs will be hurting all day from being.
I know.
It cracks me up.
Oh my God.
And so does Curtis. He has that quick wit and things that come out of his mouth. You're like, what? Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This was
been great.
Fun. I'm grateful that you guys agreed to do it and carved out time out of your busy schedules.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's 9:00. You should be tucked in real tight by now, huh, Steve?
No, I got about, let's see. Yeah, I should be.
That's because you get up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah. By the time everybody else get up, I'd have been at work 3-4 hours already.
Yeah.
Wow.
I called him on my way in. He on his first break or lunch.
Oh yeah, I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee by the time y'all over to work.
Wow.
He's gone by 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's up.
Yeah, I put it this way. My lunch is at 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just getting in the groove. Right. All right, you guys. Thank you again. And be sure to keep a date out for another episode.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, are the previous ones recorded still, or we can keep looking at
They're
them
on the page.
on the page? Okay.
They're on our page, and they're also on our Facebook channel.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, YouTube. He said, "Oh." They're on YouTube. So YouTube at FA Concepts LLC. You can look at all the episodes that are on there.
Just do the search.
You definitely want to say Happy Black History Month.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And Angela, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Feliz años aquí.
No.
Feliz años aquí. Feliz años aquí. Did I get it right?
Ati.
You got the melody right.
Yeah.
You were saying
I was close. I was
Cumpleaños.
You're very close. You did good.
Cumpleaños.
She could tell what you were singing.
I
Yeah,
know.
by the song.
Jesus help us.
I would try one day. I would get it.
it's starting to pay off.
No wrong though.
Well, it was
See you in
close.
Mexicali. We can take that to Mexicali.
Right there in the small village, there's 25 of us.
Bye-bye.
That's where we going in the RV.
Oh no.
Oh no, I can't go that far, dog.
Vegas.
That's like 5 days driving.
Oh, well, never mind.
No.
Nah.
No.
No thanks.
All right, you guys have a
All
good
right.
All right, love y'all.
I love
Okay.
you.
well. Chris and Curtis, we're gonna get a cake order out to you.
Yes,
Okay.
too.
And I'm taking Cash App. If you want to give the Cash App, you don't have to give me a gift, but you give me some money, I'll be happy.
Yes. Happy birthday, sis.
Thank you, sis. I'm kidding though, but thank you guys. Love you.
Love y'all.
Love you.
All right.
Bye.
See you in a minute.
Jess. Bye.
Woo!
Oh, man.
What a full show. I'm grateful. I'm happy. I'm excited for the third Tuesday in this month.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be more of the same with different guests. So I'm looking forward to the third Tuesday in this month to do it all over again with some more of my friends for Black History Month, for my birthday celebration. So this is kind of a mix. I didn't ask a whole lot of Black history questions or anything like that, but this is Black history in the making with us. So, because as you heard, they started businesses and grew in their ministries and all of that good stuff. So Black History Month in the making.
Mhm. And thank you all the last few that are remaining. I know this was kind of long, but we appreciate
show,
you remaining and hope that you got something out of it. So we're not gonna hold you. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here, but we will see you
third Tuesday, 7:00. That is February 16th.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.